Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Homestead Heart. And today, you all, I decided to go ahead and do this video. As you could tell by the title, do I leave them on or do I take them off? I get that question so much. And I actually got that question in the last video that I posted on that bust of a test with the farina bread. But anyway, you all, I decided to come on and do this video. Mrs. H, do you leave your lids on or do you take your lids off? I'm going to answer that. But before I do, somebody asked a very good question, and I wanted to go ahead and answer that question right now. I didn't even respond to the comment because I knew I was going to mention it in this video. But she asked the question. I thought, Mrs. H, I thought if you had a failed seal, under no circumstances are you to eat the food in that jar. Or something to that effect. Now, that is true. Okay? That is absolutely true with a couple of exceptions. Number one, if I canned some food on yesterday evening and I put them out to seal and I go to bed and I get up in the morning and I notice that one of my jars did not seal, I will not throw that jar away. I will either cook it or I will pop it in the fridge. That's going to be okay to do, okay? Now, in the case of what I did, because I do check my jars now on a consistent basis, and I do notice that a lot of you are having problems with those lids that came on the ball jars. In fact, I had a case in here where the lids were, the case hadn't even been open, the lids are dented. I think Mr. H may have already put it in the truck and he's not here, but I was taking it back because I just didn't want to take any chances with that case of jars, you know, open it up, being damaged, blah, blah, blah. But all of these lids have damage to the actual lid. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to even open it. I'm just going to take it back and see if I can get my money back or see if I can exchange it. Because to me, if every lid, not the ring, not the band, but the lid itself, if every lid is damaged, I don't know what condition the jars are in either. So I'm not going to even bother open it. I'm just taking it back to the store and hopefully be able to get a case that looks better, which is what Mr. H is going to do. But in any case, what I did yesterday with tasting that bread, if you notice, I only tasted a small piece, right? I'm still okay. I'm okay. I'm here. But the only reason why I tasted that bread is because I knew if that lid had failed, it had just happened very recently, right? So I really didn't have like a major concern because the bread was cooked and it was in a sealed jar. So I wasn't concerned. It's like if I bake some bread today and leave it out on the counter for 2 or 3 days, the bread is going to be okay on the counter for 2 or 3 days. So I knew the bread that I opened, if that seal had popped, it had just done it within the last day or two even. So it wasn't old, okay? Just to answer that question. All right? And yeah, so I just wanted to kind of clarify that, all right? Because I know that the young lady that asked the question, and maybe others may have thought it too, why are you eating that jar? Why are you tasting that if the lid failed or if the seal failed? It was just simply because I knew that if it had happened, I just tested those jars just a few days ago. So if it happened during that time period of me testing those jars. And I mean, I do go through and I test them, right? I go through and I test them and all of that to make sure that they're still sealed, okay? Now, let's get to the video topic. Do you leave the lids, the bands on? Do you take them off or do you leave them on? If you've been canning for any amount of time, you probably have a ton, a ton of these, okay? And at some point, you can only put so many on a hanger and have it hanging down. You can only put so many of those in so many places. And you could only put so many in a bucket. I think some of you said you put yours in totes. I mean totes, right? You can only do so much of that, okay? So, do I take mine off? I used to, but I don't anymore. Dun, dun, dun. Ah! Let me explain. Don't panic. You all, I was so fortunate to see this video that I was like, I'm gonna start doing that. Yes, I'm getting, in case y'all see, I got my mixer. His papa must be pulling up. Good boy, bud. That's a good boy. That's your papa out there. I hear him. Anyway, I'm getting ready to bake a cream cheese pound cake, and I'm gonna share it with y'all. I'm gonna. Don't worry. I'm gonna share this recipe with y'all. Y'all stay tuned for that recipe, okay? But in any case, you all, what I'm gonna tell you, it was kind of mind blowing for me, but taking them off in it, I don't do it anymore. I don't take them off anymore. This was genius in my opinion. To me, this made like perfect sense to do. It's like, why didn't I think of that? Right? So, I think Mr. H finna interrupt this video. We interrupt this program to bring you Mr. H. I think he finna come to the door, in the door lock. Oh, he not? Okay. Bud, calm down. He coming. He coming to the back. Anywho, you all, what I have decided to do now, thanks to an amazing idea from Alaska Prepper, I no longer take my bands off. Let me tell you what. You hear that? This is not on. You trying to go outside? You go at the front or the back or whatever you want to do. Your shoes over there, go right ahead. She trying to hide herself. Hold up. Let me see if I can hide her since she don't want to be on camera. Hold up. You hidden right now, but you better hurry up. Okay, hurry up, because I can't hide you for long. Everybody don't like to be on camera, y'all. Some people are very camera shy. They be like... But anyway... Anyway, thanks to Alaska Prepper, I don't do that anymore. Look, this lid, it's not on there, but it's on there. Okay, see, look. I'm gonna put my hand on it though. But see, it's not on there, and you can look at it and tell it's not on there. See? It's not holding down the lid or anything. Look, pop right off. All I do now is put that back on, give it a slight turn, and it ain't gonna come off. But it's not holding the lid down. See what I'm saying? It came off. Let me turn it again. There we go. Oh wait, it did it again. Hold up. There we go. See? But it's still not on there. Okay? It's still not on there. Perfect to hold these lids. Perfect. Okay? Now, this is what I do now because I don't have space to put 1,000,000 bands or 500 bands. I don't have space to do that. But I have them in jars. And anytime I use a jar like this and clean it up, now all I got to do once all this item is, first of all, the reason why this is awesome is that when you go and take something out of the pantry and you open it, you have to go back and find a band or get a band and put it on, right? But in this case, when I open it, the band is already here. Very convenient, right? And then also, once the jar is done, all I have to do is wash the jar and put the band back on, and either put this lid back on and it'll already have writing on it to let me know that it's been used and I can decide what I'm going to use it for. Or I can put a new lid on the jar and put this down, but I don't have to put it down tight. So the jar now empty jar will be ready for my next canning session. Okay, and I don't have to go through no whole bunch of stuff trying to get a jar, a lid, and a band. It's all going to be together anyway. So I love this. I love this method of holding on to my bands. So do I take my bands off anymore? The answer is no. Thanks again to Alaska Prepper. I don't do that. This was genius in my opinion. So y'all can tell me what y'all think about that in the comment section below. I love this. Another question, do you stack your jars? Not if I can help it. Look, I know sometimes we don't have a lot of space when we canning food, and we got to do what we do. We got to do whatever we can do to make it work. You know, we got a little small pantry that we're working with. Then sometimes you may have to stack your jars, but you may have to get creative with how you stack them too. And you'll probably have to check on them way more often by them being in a box than stacked, right? So you'll definitely have to do that. Now, one of the things I could say with the lid not being completely down on these, when you stack them, it doesn't press the lid down. The lid actually kind of stays up a bit. It doesn't go down on the lid and hold it in place. It actually stays up a bit. But you would still need to check on them more often if you are going to stack your cases. If you got a small pantry, a small closet, or whatever you're using to put your canned food items in, and you're having to stack them cases up, because I've done that, and I'm going to tell you, wasn't nothing wrong with them either, but I did have to go through and check my jars often. Yes, but I never had a failed seal. I never had a problem. Not one time did I ever have a problem, but I did have to check them more often, okay? So keep that in mind. If you can avoid stacking your cases, please do. If you got to make it happen, Captain, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. That's all I can tell you. Do what you got to do. But anyway, y'all, that's it. I got to get to work because I got to get this cream cheese pound cake in the oven. Yes, I do. It's getting late. So I got to go on and get this cake in the oven because it's going to be about an hour and a half before it's done anyway. But I'm excited to share this with you all as well. So y'all stay tuned for that. Okay? All right, y'all. I'm going to get to work. I just wanted to answer those questions and let everybody know. No, I don't take them off no more. I leave them on here. And this is why. Thank you, Alaska Prepper. I hope everybody else or anyone else could find that tip helpful because, again, I thought it was genius. Okay? All right, y'all, that's going to do it for this video. I got to get to this cake right here. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and give our video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that we upload to our channel. Thank you all again so much for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. I'm going to see y'all in the next video.